Sometimes a lot of people want help picking the right people to be their executor or their trustee or their power of attorney. And here to talk with us about that is Harry Margolis. He's the author of Get Your Ducks in a Row. Harry, welcome.
Good to see you again, Bob.
Likewise. So hopefully this is a question that is top of mind for you.
Yes. So there are different roles and different people are in different situations. So for some people, it's easy. So you name your spouse, and then if you have one or two children who you trust, you may name them either in the first place or as alternates, and they can fill all the roles. But it can be more difficult if you're unmarried, you don't have a spouse, or you don't have children, or you have children who you wouldn't want to be in this role. Or even more often, I think we find people where there's some of the kids don't always get along. So you can't name them together because it might not work. And if you name one, then the others might resent it. And that can be very difficult. So again, if you have obvious people named, great. But if you don't, for some of these roles, you can name somebody outside. You can name an attorney, maybe another relative, a cousin, sibling, somebody like that. So attorneys are usually willing, estate planning attorneys are usually willing to serve on a power of attorney, even more likely to serve as trustee. Sometimes you might want them as executor or personal representative for your estate. More often they may be willing to serve as co-trustee or executor with a family member. That way you have somebody who knows you, who knows the family, knows the needs, and also somebody who's professional who can act as kind of a backstop and make sure everything's done right. So a combination can work well, especially if you're naming somebody, say you're calling on a nephew or niece to serve and they've got busy lives. Well, they may be willing to be a co-trustee or a co-personal representative and not want to have all the responsibility on their shoulders, but willing to participate. So a combination can work very, very well. What can be harder is appointing somebody on a healthcare proxy or healthcare power of attorney, because attorneys and other professionals are usually not wanting to get involved for those kinds of personal decisions. And if you don't have somebody who you can name to that role, it can be difficult. Sometimes people just name friends, and it may even be two friends may do it for each other. But that also gets harder as people get older, because the people they would name, they either become ill themselves or they pass away. And that can be really difficult to find somebody to name as a healthcare agent.
Yeah. Now, my understanding is that the roles and duties of an executor are different from the roles and duties of a trustee or a power of attorney.
Yeah, that's a good point. So the power of attorney is really a standby, and you don't necessarily, it may never happen when somebody is needed because of incapacity. It can be a pretty involved role, but usually not for years and years. The personal representative or executor are the same. That's the same thing. That's a very intense role, because when someone dies, there's a lot to do. There's not just dealing with the probate court, there's dealing with all the finances, paying final bills, distributing personal assets, cleaning up an apartment or a house, perhaps putting a house on the market. So that's an intense amount of work, but usually it's for a short period of time. Hopefully within a year or so, you'll be done. And then the trustee role is less intense, but it's more ongoing. It could go on for years or decades, depending on the terms of the trust and who the beneficiary is. So all those are considerations on who you appoint. And of course, when you ask somebody, it's going to be a consideration on their end on whether they're going to accept that the honor of being appointed.
Yeah. And when I think about these three different roles, it may not be the same person for each of the roles. It may be different people given their skill level, their location or geography.
Yes,
and their willingness, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Somebody, you may have a child serve as your power of attorney because that's somebody who's close and can step in when needed, but maybe they're not in a position you want to do something that's more intense, like the probate or something long-term like a trustee arrangement. Again, you might have different people for different roles, as you suggest.
Yeah. And when you think about vetting the person for these different roles, is there a checklist that you would recommend that someone, assess whether the person is the right person?
Checklist, but you probably know already. You know the person, and you know whether they're reliable, whether they do what they say they're going to do, whether they're good with money or they're not good with money. On the trustee role, that's something you can test out. So if you have a trust in existence now, you can name someone as co-trustee, and then you can start working with them and get a feel for both. You can get a feel for them, whether this is someone you want in that role, and you can then change it if it's not. And then if you're working together, if they do have to step in and take over, you can also have confidence that they know what you want. And so I think as people get older, I think having a co-trustee can make a lot of sense.
Anything we missed or just bears reemphasizing?
No, I'm not. I can think of who you would trust and feel comfortable in these roles, and that's who you should appoint.